All right, it is 4:31. We will call this meeting to order. The Moorhead Public Service Commission welcomes and encourages customer input on issues listed on the agenda or of general water electric utility interest, time and commission permitting. Speakers are limited to a 3-minute presentation. Customers wishing to address the commission regarding a specific agenda item will be afforded an opportunity during the discussion of that item. Customers wishing to speak on matters not listed on the agenda will be given the opportunity to do so under the heading Customers to be Heard Recognitions. Each person requesting the opportunity to speak is asked to fill out a request to speak form located at the back of the room and present it to the administrative assistant in attendance at the meeting. Any follow-up or feedback will be done by email on anything that cannot be resolved during this meeting. A reminder, commissioners, please make sure that your microphone is turned on and the red light displays when you are speaking during the meeting. For today, some members of the Moorhead Public Service Commission are attending today's meeting via interactive technologies. Commissioners attending via interactive technology, please make sure that your camera and microphone are turned on so we can see and hear you during the meeting. Thank you. We will move on to item number 2, approve the agenda. Motion
second.
Ness, second
Lindas.
Lindas. Roll call, Baker.
Aye.
Borgen. Lindas.
Yes.
Ness. Yes. Lyseth, yes. Next up is the approval of the consent agenda.
Lindas moves approval.
Lindas approval.
Borgen second.
Borgen second. Roll call, Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindas.
Yes.
Ness. Yes. Lyseth, yes. Thank you. We will move on to number 6, customers to be heard. And recognitions. Travis.
Customers to be heard. I do have one recognition this evening. Eric John, he's our electric operations manager. Just last week surpassed his 30-year milestone with Moorhead Public Service. So Eric started as a lineman with us a long time ago, lead lineman as well. He was our electric distribution supervisor for a while, and now he's taken the role of electric operations manager for the last few years. So congratulations to Eric on his 30 years with MPS.
Excellent. Congratulations, Eric. 30 years with any organization is very remarkable these days. Thank you very much. I suppose we have to thank Eric for all of my great power throughout my lifetime here in Moorhead of always being on. So that's wonderful. Any old business that needs to be brought up for the commission today? Then we'll move on to reports. First one is council report. Morgan.
All right, thank you. When was the last time we met? It's been about a month, hasn't it? Yeah, so we've taken 2 different trips down to St. Paul to do some lobbying. I'm on the lobbying committee for the council, and our priorities include the border cities legislation, which I think is really looking good. We've got a couple good sponsors, and it's all going to depend on if a bonding bill passes, I think. Actually, this bill does not cost anything, but it's still part of the whole package. Additionally, we have been working towards getting some funding to finish our flood diversion project. You know, people aren't really excited about that because we haven't had a flood for 10 years and it's out of sight, out of mind. But the problem is the Corps of Engineers will not certify the entire project until it's all done and paid for. So we've got to get that funding. Senator Hoeven from North Dakota last fall helped secure some additional funding for the project. I think it was over $20 million of federal funding. And we are working on doing a match for the state of Minnesota. So if we can get the legislators to see that it would be free money, so if they gave us 10 million, we'd get another 10 million. That's 20 million bucks. We need 60 some odd million. So it's probably a little bit of a long shot, but we're feeling a lot better about that than we were when we didn't know we had some money to perhaps have a match. So there is another meeting with the diversion chair, the diversion chair, the diversion CEO, and a couple of others from the city that are going tomorrow to meet with some legislators. So we are hoping that that comes to fruition. And then finally, we opened the new library since our last meeting, and if anyone has not been there, it's been on a soft opening. There is the ribbon cutting and grand opening is happening on Saturday at 9:45 in Moorhead. I would encourage anyone to go. It's just a fantastic place to not only read, find a book, use the computer, but there is a children's playground, a children's library, a walking track. You only have to walk 8 times around and you get a mile, and it's very comfortable and beautiful because it's all windows and you can see the whole city. So that's my plug for the library. It's really a fantastic addition to downtown Moorhead. That's my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Borgen. Anybody from the Public Service Commission? Then we'll move on to the General Manager's report. Travis.
Sure. I've got a few items on the general manager's report tonight. Again, our NERC update, typically Taylor would do this, but he's out this week. Again, during the first quarter of 2026, on an annual basis, I should say, we actually go through the process of reviewing all of our NERC requirements. The NERC is the National Electric Reliability Corporation, and they set all the standards for reliability for the grid. Moorhead Public Service, because we own transmission, gets included in that. So I think we got roughly about 35 to 38 standards that we have to follow. So again, that review was completed. We don't have any standards that we're not in compliance with, which is great. Taylor looks at those on an annual basis and quarterly as well, or whenever there's updates. We did have an update the first quarter of this year that was approved or needed to be completed and in place by April 1st. And we do have a few more coming up this year as well too. And we do have meetings with MRES as well too. They help out and make sure we're keeping on top of any changes to the standards and things like that as well too. So we have a good relationship with them and working through that. They do take care of some of our standards just because they are our transmission planner. So that does help out a lot as well too. So with that, I'm going to have Mark Pritchard come up. He's going to talk about the next item, and then I'll finish up my report after that.
Thank you, Travis. Mark Pritchard, Water Plant Manager. This item that we have here is recognizing AWWA's Drinking Water Week for the calendar year 2026. Each year, the American Water Works Association and members like MPS promote Drinking Water Week as a kind of a unique opportunity for both water professionals and the communities they serve to recognize the vital role that water plays in our daily lives, keeps literally the modern portions of our society running smoothly and flowing smoothly, so to speak. Recognizing this Drinking Water Week is an ideal way to help educate the public on the importance that water services and infrastructure has in maintaining the public health in general. And we like to use it as an opportunity to promote positive interactions with the community. One thing about the water industry is we're very out of sight, out of mind unless something breaks or something happens, and we like to have opportunities such as this week coming up to talk about the positive effects that water utilities have on their communities. So with that being said, the upcoming timeframes are May 3rd through the 9th. And we plan on having various amounts of social media posts and campaigns like that. And then this year we are attempting to work with the Moorhead Public Schools to have some tours of the water facility to show it to the youngsters. So hopefully get some creative sparks flowing in some of those folks and see if we find some future operators for utilities like ours. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Travis?
All right, so we did receive a APPA 2025 Safety Award of Excellence, excuse me. Again, this is the diamond level, so this is top level through APPA. I don't know if we've gotten this high before. I know we've gotten some platinums before, but again, this goes out to the staff and their safety and working on the job, making sure that they're doing things correctly as well too. So just wanted to give a kudos to all the staff that are involved with this, which is pretty much everybody, and appreciate that. Again, it's an annual safety award, so we fill this out every year. So we'll see how this year goes, next year. With that, we also did have an essentials drive for Churches United, March 16th through the 27th. And we've donated about 500 items to Churches United. A lot of hygiene products, daily necessities, things like that were provided. And that was all MPS employees providing it, their free will donations. So, and then the last item, I know Matt did talk about this at the last meeting. I included everything for both federal and state legislative updates. So these were all of our opinion papers or option or priority papers that we were looking at, or positions, whatever you want to call it. Support FEMA reform, municipal tax issues. There's several items within there as well too. Municipal exemption for pole attachments was another one. Protecting the federal hydro program, again, that's WAPA. And then permitting reform had a couple items in it as well too. And then late March, I was down in St. Paul as well for the state legislative priorities for MMUA, and MRES was there as well too. And those were no third-party sales, right of first refusal reform, PFAS mitigation, reform on net metering statutes, supporting the all-above approach for achieving the carbon-free standard for 2040, and then advocating for a bonding bill as well. And there was a couple other smaller items that were also being discussed while we were down there as well. So those are included for your guys' review as well. And then, of course, there's also the most recent weekly update from MRES on their legislative priorities, or what's going on in the states that they're involved with. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Travis. Another congratulations to the entire team. Safety award at the diamond level is a really great accomplishment, and we know not only keeping the whole team safe keeps a full team ready to go when there are disasters or anything else that comes up. So that's really a great accomplishment. Thank you.
One other thing I forgot to mention, we do have 3 of our linemen that are at the Light Up Navajo this week as well too. So they left Friday morning bright and early, and should be back either late Saturday or late Saturday or early Sunday they'll be back. So
Great program. Looking
so
forward to
we'll
hearing.
give an update on that at the next
Yeah,
one.
that'd be great. If we could hear from them, that'd be great.
All right, thank you. And then so next is accept the report on MPS's advanced metering infrastructure project.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've given the commission an update, and Jake Long is going to be giving the update tonight on that. There were some maps that were provided to you, I think, Paul, you got it electronically. Commissioners, it was provided to you tonight as well too. Just kind of giving you an update where everything's at. So Jake, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, thank you, Travis. As Travis mentioned, the last update we provided to the commission was back in August of last year. And at that time in the project, MPS was completing the installation phase of our initial testing area of the system, and we were getting ready to begin full deployment for water and electric meters. Currently, and you can kind of see the maps as Travis mentioned, MPS has completed about 80% of all the electric meter installations, and we're at about 35% of the water meter installations. Right now, we expect to complete all the electric meter installations by June, except for the limited number of meter exchanges referred to return to utility accounts. And those return to utilities are just either scheduling or operational issues that the contractor had, so they give them back to us. Currently, where we sit right now, MPS expects the remaining water meter installations to continue into 2027. As we've transitioned from winter to spring, the installation contractor is bringing on a few more staff members to ramp up the water meter exchanges, so that'll help move the project along as well. Over the past several months, MPS and our consultant, Contema Technologies, has been completing the final sections of our system acceptance test. However, we're currently working with Honeywell and Wesco to complete a few issues we've had with the load management devices for our load management program. So we're getting close on that to be deploying that system as well. More recently, MPS staff has completed several training sessions with our folks with our AMI head-end software, and our meter data management software. And it's been interesting. These trainings have led to some more discussion for our staff on how we can better the utility, enhance operations, and improve some customer service. So that's been fun to get staff's opinions on how we can use it a little bit better now that we got more data coming in. And some of the, for example, some of the tools that our system provides is that can benefit MPS and our customers are outage reports, meter events and alarms, different maps and dashboards, voltage analysis data, and then continuous usage reporting. And if you're looking at the report, I have an example of the continuous water usage graph, just to kind of show what our system can do for us. As you can see on this graph, there was typical usage up until about that April 3rd date where it ramped up to 120 gallons per hour. And that kind of flatlined with their normal use on top of that. And then about April 6th, you can see that start to decline. So the customer either most likely found what was leaking at that time and shut it off. So really the idea behind this is, as we move forward with our AMI and our CIS upgrade, we can notify customers fairly quickly on these. And just to put it in perspective, within just this time period, if you add up the gallons of water, it's almost approximately 10,000 gallons of water that most likely just went out the tap and down the sewer. So it can really add up to be quite a bit and really help on water resource management, but as well as not only the water bill, but the wastewater bill for the customers. So with that, I also included our communication plan. That's been included in the past reports, but just wanted to kind of show that again, as well as we're still not finished up with the project. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions?
I have a
Gordon?
question.
Yes.
Okay, this is my naivete. I'm sorry to maybe have a dumb question, but how does the customer access this continuous usage graph? Do you go to MPS, your account, or how do you do it?
Yeah, good. Go ahead, Jake. I'll let you start.
Okay. Yeah, I can start off with that. So right now we're in the process of putting together more of a manual process, which will include some letters and phone calls. But the idea right now we need to upgrade our customer information system, our billing system. And with that upgrade, that will allow more automated alerts for folks to sign up, and they'll be able to probably set it a little bit how they would like to, whether it's a certain time period or whatnot. So it's coming. It's not here yet. It's a manual process now, but in the future, it looks good to be able to get customers notified quicker.
And will it be for electric too, when we get all the electric meters done? So if something's going on in your house and you don't know it, and then you're just burning up a bunch of, yeah.
Yep, there's a same exact continuous electric usage report that's generated as well. So
Okay.
it's our meter data management systems taking all these reads in, and there's different reports that are being spun out for us to utilize.
I think it's great. Really, kudos to you and your team for getting it done.
Yeah, we've, since August, September timeframe when we started seeing data come in, it's been very interesting to see. And then we've been talking internally of how do we deal with this until the CIS upgrade happens, which, Commission approved that back in, I think, October of last year. We just had our kickoff meeting last week regarding that, so we're going to be starting that process as well too. But the information that we've seen is going to be helpful to, again, one, help those customers reduce it, because prior to having this system, we wouldn't see it for a month. And so you'd have 120 gallons an hour going down the drain for a month, and then there's some pretty high bills. So
yeah, and just one thing to add, toilets are actually a big culprit of these leaks, and people don't realize how much water is actually, just going down the drain and paying for it.
So Commissioner Morgan, I didn't think that was I thought that was a very good question, because it was the same question I had, okay? And having been one of the recipients of one of those bills of a toilet just continuously running, I can tell you I would have loved to have one of these alert me to that fact before. All in fairness, I was on vacation, but still, I would have had someone go over there and fix,
Right.
at least turn off the water. So my question has to do with two things, nitty gritty. Customers are able to monitor this. Are they able to set essentially a notification? So if your water usage goes above a certain threshold per day, can they actually have an automated notification?
I don't know that answer yet. I think we're still getting into what the new customer portal is going to allow us to do. It might be I think we've got it set to, what is it, 5 gallons continuous or something?
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
right now on the graph, you can see that little pink line that's
Yep.
pretty much touching the bottom. This report is showing anything 2 gallons of a continuous usage for 24-hour period. So we can set that in the software to wherever we'd like. And there's lots of different, we can do it per meter type, meter size, et cetera. The actual customer portal, that we're still, as Travis mentioned, getting more information on. It's pretty early yet, but I think there's gonna be lots of different things that we can do with it.
But if you go on vacation, you could go look at your meter water usage and go, oh, hey, looks fine. No worries.
Right, yeah, that would be the idea behind it is, one thing I was really alert, I knew there was lots of snowbirds that would go to Arizona for the winter, but when we're deploying meters, it would be very helpful for them to know that, especially if they have folks that still check on it. They should be able to just log into the usage report and see if there's any usage, so.
Likewise, you could see if you left that oven on or not.
Right.
Somewhat in the weeds, though, I like the electric monitoring also. Are you going to be able to look at other things? I mean, it's not just voltage, but can you look at voltage abnormalities, essentially arcing effects, so that you actually can anticipate if there is faulty in-home wiring or even just faulty transformers potentially that are not quite performing correctly?
Yeah, there is a lot of different meter events and alarms that are set within our meter programming for the electric. I'm not exactly sure on some of those things, how they're set, but our electric department kind of went through some of that, but there is lots of capabilities. I mean, when you look at the electric metering program, there's, I would say, hundreds of different events and alarms that will get triggered depending on what the power is looking like. And, outage is the most common one. That one, we have a map that alerts us if there's an outage. If it loses power for more than a minute, it'll show it on a outage map. And likewise, even just the substation switching or some sort of thing, the electric meters, that's more of an event, and it'll trigger that as well. So I think as we utilize the AMI system, there will be a lot of things that engineering can use as well.
Well, I agree. This is great, and my house happens to be one of those that's just waiting very patiently
Sure.
For the advanced meters.
Any other questions for Jake?
Not, I'll move approval of the report.
Motion by Lindas? Second. Second by Ness. Roll call. Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindas.
Yes.
Ness. Yes. Lyseth, yes. Thank you, Jake. We will move on to item number 13, which is award the bid for the 8th Street South Water Main Replacement Project.
Yep, it's kind of the Jake show tonight, so I'll have Jake come back up here. We did receive bids for this project a few weeks ago. Part of that is the bids did come in higher than anticipated, than the engineer's estimate. We did do some, I know Jake had some conversation with city engineering on their projects and looking at 27, 28, and we also had some internal discussions on budget stuff as well too. So I'll let Jake give the update. Go ahead, Jake.
Okay, thank you, Travis. As Travis mentioned, this is the recommendation to award the bid for the 8th Street South Water Main Replacement Project. This project will replace approximately 3,500 feet of failure-prone cast iron water main in various locations along the 8th Street corridor between 3rd Avenue and 10th Avenue. This project also includes replacing all water service lines from the water main to the curb stop, and then any lead service lines that are identified throughout the project. They'll be installed all the way to the customer's home. So the idea of this project is to get it replaced prior to the scheduled Minnesota Department of Transportation street improvement project in 2027. I did want to provide an update from the last commission meeting regarding the extent of this project or the MnDOT project. I looked, and it's from Main Avenue to 24th Avenue on 8th Street, as well as on Highway 10 from 10th Street to the Red River. On April 1st, MPS received 3 qualified bids ranging from 2.36 million to 3.19 million. In reference, the engineer's estimate was 2.1 million. As shown on the attached bid tabulation sheet, Border States Paving was the lowest qualified bidder. This bid package also included an additive alternate, which included additional water main replacement on 10th Street and 10th Avenue. And the reason, part of this project cost increased was during the design phase, we decided that we wanted to get the failure-prone cast iron water main removed out of the adjacent cemetery to the project. So that portion of the work was the additive alternate. And since the total project exceeded the budget and engineer's estimate, we recommend not awarding the additive alternate and instead self-performing this portion of the project. Since this project includes lead service line replacements, the total base bid includes approximately $250,000 that's reimbursable to MPS through the lead service line grant funding. So the total share of the construction cost for MPS on this project after applying the grant funding is $1.37 million. Travis mentioned this a little bit. We've been taking a look at the budget. Currently, the 2026 Water Division budget includes $1.7 million for water main replacements, and then with an additional approximately $1.45 million annually for replacement projects. Upon receiving bids for the project, MPS expects the total share of the construction cost for all contracted and MPS self-performed projects to be $2.5 million. We've been meeting with city staff on the water main replacement and capital improvement project, street project for the city. And as we're reviewing that, we look at 2027 and 28 projects and determine that some of those projects are going to be pushed forward to future years. And based on those projects being pushed a couple of years, as well as just the schedule between MPS project and city projects, we've identified about $750,000 that can be reallocated from 2027 to 2028, kind of back to this year. So with that, I'll take any questions.
So looking at the project location map that you included in the packet, the shaded areas where it's happening, is that just repaving the street that's there? So you take up the entire road area, put in the new lines, and then just repave the area that's in there?
Good question. The shaded area, we're hoping to, disturb little as possible. A lot of this project's through pipe bursting and directional drilling. So the idea behind it is you have fewer pits for water main connections and then service connections. So also during the design, we tried to stay out of the roadway and push it into the boulevard. There's actually some space for us to put the water main more in the boulevard and not in the actual roadway, which better for us if have any issues, as well as MnDOT appreciates that as well. So.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
So I seem to remember at a city council meeting recently that there was also a project. So I'm assuming that your project with the lead pipe and underground is in coordination with the city's project of whatever they're doing on 8th Street. True or no?
I'm not aware.
I thought
off
they
the
were
top of my
doing a
head
mill
with-
and overlay. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I thought they were doing something.
That's the state of Minnesota. That'll be the Highway 75 project. But my understanding was that's 2028
Okay.
for resurfacing.
All right.
Yeah, they're going back and forth whether it's gonna be 2027, 2028. I think in general, project costs have increased, so they're trying to figure out budget.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jake. There a motion for approval?
So moved.
So move Borgen. Linda second. Roll call. Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindas.
Yes.
Ness. Aye. Lyseth. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. We'll move on to number 14, the approve the amended policy on sponsorship and marketing.
Yep,
Travis.
I'll take this one. So I think a few meetings ago, we had a sponsorship request that was denied, and I think some of the concerns from that came, was based on the location of the event was not within the city of Moorhead. And so just to be a little bit more definitive, we've gone through the policy that's in front of you tonight for amendment and made some adjustments to that. We did work with Flaherty and Hood regarding the policy itself, and they've approved the changes that we've put forth in front of you tonight as well too. So again, overall, it's just kind of cleaning things up and allowing for making sure that if the events are not specific to water and electric, they're more of a community event, they have to be held inside the city of Moorhead city limits.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure I saw something come through that they had, it was the African
Yep.
festival, I think.
Yeah, all African, yep.
And so we denied their request basically because we didn't see a nexus between that festival and Moorhead, I think.
think
And
that
it wasn't, it was kind of
Yeah, that was
done
the Asian Market Night one that we denied. So
okay.
the All African Festival, that's one that's, we've received a application for, and we've got that currently under review. We're anticipating bringing that back at the next,
okay.
in the May, at the May meeting, so.
All right, thanks for the clarification. I was under the impression it was a redo of the one that we had said no to, but it's not.
Nope, different event. We actually received this one last year, but we got it so late that the event was going to happen before the commission could actually have the, could take action on the request.
Thank you.
There was one last year too where we denied based on it wasn't inside of the community.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So with that, any other questions other than that? The policies amendments are in front and strike and underline, and we've also included the administrative policy, which kind of just gives a little bit more detail, but overall, these are two very similar policies, one administrative, one commission.
I do have one more question. So I think last year I went to something over at the fairgrounds and it was an electrical or some kind of, and we sponsored it for the first time. So
Yep.
we can still sponsor something like that because it's in the same wheelhouse of what we do.
Correct, because and that's kind of why we've got the amendment language noted that if it's a water or electric industry event, that those could happen outside of the city of Moorhead.
Okay,
So-
good. I like it.
And I think that was the Chamber's Midwest Economic or
Midwest
Power
Midwest Energy Summit.
Energy Summit.
That's
yes.
right.
Yeah, and that, we actually just had a conversation on that last week, I think, and this is the year that MRES is gonna do the sponsorship for that. We're gonna alternate every other year with them.
Good.
Right. Is there a motion to approve?
Lindos moves approval.
Lindos moved.
Second.
Ness second. Roll call. Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindos.
Yes.
Ness.
Yes.
Lyseth, yes. All right, moving on. The next up is we do have some items for our executive session. So this meeting will now be closed for executive session as permitted by Minnesota Statute Section 13D.5 Subdivision C3C to discuss possible property transactions involving parcel number 58.199.0150 in Moorhead, Minnesota. Action is expected in this session upon conclusion of the executive session. So we will return.
Paul, do you wanna log off this one and log into the other?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
See you in the next room. All right, we are back in open session. Is there a
I'd
motion?
like to make a motion to approve the City Hall sublease agreement with the City of Moorhead, pending legal review of the insurance.
All right, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Yes, second.
Ness, second. Roll call. Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindas.
Yes.
Ness. Yes. Lyseth, yes. Thank you very much. And now we will move on to 15B. This meeting will now be closed for executive session as permitted by the state statute section 13D.05 subdivision 3C to discuss possible property transaction involving parcel number 10.032.1000 in Clay County, Minnesota. Further action is not expected in open session. Therefore, we will adjourn upon conclusion of the executive session.
I move to go to executive session.
Motion by Lindas,
Second.
second by Borgen. Roll call. Baker.
Aye.
Borgen.
Yes.
Lindas.
Yes.
Ness.
Yes.
Lyseth, yes. We'll move into executive session.